每天练习英语听、说、练，与我们一起提升你的语言技能。开始练习吧。
The northern lights are beautiful. The northern lights are beautiful.
北极光很美。
The northern lights are beautiful. The northern lights are beautiful. They shine in the night sky. They shine in the night sky.
它们在夜空中闪耀。
They shine in the night sky. They shine in the night sky. I saw the lights in Norway. I saw the lights in Norway.
我在挪威看到了极光。
I saw the lights in Norway. I saw the lights in Norway. Anna watched the sky with wonder. Anna watched the sky with wonder.
安娜惊奇地看住天空。
Anna watched the sky with wonder. Anna watched the sky with wonder. The lights danced above the trees. The lights danced above the trees.
极光在树梢上跳舞。
The lights danced above the trees. The lights danced above the trees. Green lights glowed over the mountains. Green lights glowed over the mountains.
绿色的光芒在山上闪烁。
Green lights glowed over the mountains. Green lights glowed over the mountains. It was a cold and clear night. It was a cold and clear night.
那是一个寒冷而晴朗的夜晚。
It was a cold and clear night. It was a cold and clear night. Mike took pictures of the lights. Mike took pictures of the lights.
麦克拍下了极光的照片。
Mike took pictures of the lights. Mike took pictures of the lights. The sky turned green and pink. The sky turned green and pink.
天空变成了绿色和粉红色。
The sky turned green and pink. The sky turned green and pink. We waited in the dark to see them. We waited in the dark to see them.
我们在黑暗中等待住看见它们。
We waited in the dark to see them. We waited in the dark to see them. The lights moved slowly across the sky. The lights moved slowly across the sky.
极光缓慢地在天空中移动。
The lights moved slowly across the sky. The lights moved slowly across the sky. It was my first time seeing them. It was my first time seeing them.
那是我第一次看到它们。
It was my first time seeing them. It was my first time seeing them. The stars were bright that night. The stars were bright that night.
那晚星星很亮。
The stars were bright that night. The stars were bright that night. The lights looked like waves. The lights looked like waves.
极光看起来像波浪。
The lights looked like waves. The lights looked like waves. Emma said it was magical. Emma said it was magical.
艾玛说那太神奇了。
Emma said it was magical. Emma said it was magical. The colors were soft and bright. The colors were soft and bright.
颜色柔和而明亮。
The colors were soft and bright. The colors were soft and bright. We stood in silence. We stood in silence.
我们静静地站住。
We stood in silence. We stood in silence. The lights appeared after midnight. The lights appeared after midnight.
极光在午夜后出现了。
The lights appeared after midnight. The lights appeared after midnight. They looked like ribbons in the sky. They looked like ribbons in the sky.
它们看起来像天空中的丝带。
They looked like ribbons in the sky. They looked like ribbons in the sky. The air was cold and still. The air was cold and still.
空气寒冷而宁静。
The air was cold and still. The air was cold and still. Liam wore a warm coat. Liam wore a warm coat.
连恩穿着一件保暖外套。
Liam wore a warm coat. Liam wore a warm coat. The colors changed every minute. The colors changed every minute.
颜色每分钟都在变化。
The colors changed every minute. The colors changed every minute. We used a tripod for photos. We used a tripod for photos.
我们用脚架拍照。
We used a tripod for photos. We used a tripod for photos. The sky was full of wonder. The sky was full of wonder.
天空充满了惊奇。
The sky was full of wonder. The sky was full of wonder. The lights faded slowly. The lights faded slowly.
极光慢慢地消失了。
The lights faded slowly. The lights faded slowly. We saw green, pink, and purple. We saw green, pink, and purple.
我们看到了绿色、粉红色和紫色。
We saw green, pink, and purple. We saw green, pink, and purple. Sophie smiled when she saw them. Sophie smiled when she saw them.
苏菲看到它们时笑了。
Sophie smiled when she saw them. Sophie smiled when she saw them. The view was unforgettable. The view was unforgettable.
那景色令人难忘。
The view was unforgettable. The view was unforgettable. We drove far to see the lights. We drove far to see the lights.
我们开了很远的车去看极光。
We drove far to see the lights. We drove far to see the lights. The lights made shapes in the sky. The lights made shapes in the sky.
极光在天空中形成了图案。
The lights made shapes in the sky. The lights made shapes in the sky. It was a quiet night. It was a quiet night.
那是一个安静的夜晚。
It was a quiet night. It was a quiet night. No clouds covered the stars. No clouds covered the stars.
没有云遮住星星。
No clouds covered the stars. No clouds covered the stars. Ben brought a thermos of tea. Ben brought a thermos of tea.
班带了一壶热茶。
Ben brought a thermos of tea. Ben brought a thermos of tea. The lights were brighter than I thought. The lights were brighter than I thought.
极光比我想象的还要亮。
The lights were brighter than I thought. The lights were brighter than I thought. They shimmered above the snow. They shimmered above the snow.
它们在雪地上闪烁。
They shimmered above the snow. They shimmered above the snow. Olivia pointed to the sky. Olivia pointed to the sky.
奥利维亚指住天空。
Olivia pointed to the sky. Olivia pointed to the sky. The lights flickered like fire. The lights flickered like fire.
极光像火焰一样闪烁。
The lights flickered like fire. The lights flickered like fire. It felt like a dream. It felt like a dream.
感觉就像在做梦。
It felt like a dream. It felt like a dream. We stayed outside for hours. We stayed outside for hours.
我们在外面待了好几个小时。
We stayed outside for hours. We stayed outside for hours. The sky was alive with color. The sky was alive with color.
天空充满了色彩的生命力。
The sky was alive with color. The sky was alive with color. The lights moved like smoke. The lights moved like smoke.
极光像烟雾一样移动。
The lights moved like smoke. The lights moved like smoke. It was peaceful and calm. It was peaceful and calm.
那是平静而安详的。
It was peaceful and calm. It was peaceful and calm. We saw them from a hill. We saw them from a hill.
我们从山丘上看到它们。
We saw them from a hill. We saw them from a hill. The lights danced above the lake. The lights danced above the lake.
极光在湖面上跳舞。
The lights danced above the lake. The lights danced above the lake. Jacob set up his camera. Jacob set up his camera.
雅各布架好了他的相机。
Jacob set up his camera. Jacob set up his camera. The night was perfect. The night was perfect.
那晚完美无瑕。
The night was perfect. The night was perfect. The lights were soft and glowing. The lights were soft and glowing.
极光柔和而闪亮。
The lights were soft and glowing. The lights were soft and glowing. We traveled to Iceland to see them. We traveled to Iceland to see them.
我们为了看它们去了冰岛。
We traveled to Iceland to see them. We traveled to Iceland to see them. The lights filled the sky. The lights filled the sky.
极光填满了整个天空。
The lights filled the sky. The lights filled the sky. They looked like curtains blowing in the wind. They looked like curtains blowing in the wind.
它们看起来像风吹的窗帘。
They looked like curtains blowing in the wind. They looked like curtains blowing in the wind. The stars twinkled above us. The stars twinkled above us.
星星在我们头顶闪烁。
The stars twinkled above us. The stars twinkled above us. Ella wrapped herself in a blanket. Ella wrapped herself in a blanket.
艾拉裹住毯子。
Ella wrapped herself in a blanket. Ella wrapped herself in a blanket. The snow made everything quiet. The snow made everything quiet.
雪让一切变得安静。
The snow made everything quiet. The snow made everything quiet. The lights seemed close. The lights seemed close.
极光看起来很近。
The lights seemed close. The lights seemed close. The colors were bright and clear. The colors were bright and clear.
颜色明亮又清晰。
The colors were bright and clear. The colors were bright and clear. We watched in silence. We watched in silence.
我们静静地观看。
We watched in silence. We watched in silence. The sky was full of color. The sky was full of color.
天空充满了色彩。
The sky was full of color. The sky was full of color. We felt lucky to see them. We felt lucky to see them.
我们觉得很幸运能看到它们。
We felt lucky to see them. We felt lucky to see them. The lights came and went. The lights came and went.
极光来来去去。
The lights came and went. The lights came and went. They faded slowly into the night. They faded slowly into the night.
它们慢慢地消失在夜里。
They faded slowly into the night. They faded slowly into the night. The sky turned green first. The sky turned green first.
天空先变成绿色。
The sky turned green first. The sky turned green first. Then pink lights followed. Then pink lights followed.
然后粉红色的光跟着出现。
Then pink lights followed. Then pink lights followed. We saw purple at the end. We saw purple at the end.
最后我们看到了紫色。
We saw purple at the end. We saw purple at the end. The lights looked magical. The lights looked magical.
极光看起来很神奇。
The lights looked magical. The lights looked magical. We were amazed. We were amazed.
我们感到惊叹。
We were amazed. We were amazed. The colors danced above us. The colors danced above us.
颜色在我们头上跳舞。
The colors danced above us. The colors danced above us. We watched from a cabin window. We watched from a cabin window.
我们从小木屋的窗户看住。
We watched from a cabin window. We watched from a cabin window. The lights reflected on the snow. The lights reflected on the snow.
极光倒映在雪地上。
The lights reflected on the snow. The lights reflected on the snow. It was the best night of my trip. It was the best night of my trip.
那是我旅程中最棒的一晚。
It was the best night of my trip. It was the best night of my trip. We waited a long time to see them. We waited a long time to see them.
我们等了很久才看到他们。
We waited a long time to see them. We waited a long time to see them. The lights were worth the wait. The lights were worth the wait.
极光值得等待。
The lights were worth the wait. The lights were worth the wait. Tom couldn't stop smiling. Tom couldn't stop smiling.
汤姆笑得停不下来。
Tom couldn't stop smiling. Tom couldn't stop smiling. The sky looked like a painting. The sky looked like a painting.
天空看起来像一幅画。
The sky looked like a painting. The sky looked like a painting. The lights curved across the sky. The lights curved across the sky.
极光在天空中弯曲。
The lights curved across the sky. The lights curved across the sky. They moved gently. They moved gently.
它们轻柔地移动。
They moved gently. They moved gently. We took many photos. We took many photos.
我们拍了很多照片。
We took many photos. We took many photos. The lights were like waves of color. The lights were like waves of color.
极光像彩色的波浪。
The lights were like waves of color. The lights were like waves of color. The air was crisp and clean. The air was crisp and clean.
空气清新又干冷。
The air was crisp and clean. The air was crisp and clean. We listened to the silence. We listened to the silence.
我们静静地聆听。
We listened to the silence. We listened to the silence. The lights were slow and smooth. The lights were slow and smooth.
极光缓慢而平滑。
The lights were slow and smooth. The lights were slow and smooth. I felt happy and peaceful. I felt happy and peaceful.
我感到快乐又平静。
I felt happy and peaceful. I felt happy and peaceful. The lights made the sky glow. The lights made the sky glow.
极光让天空发光。
The lights made the sky glow. The lights made the sky glow. They appeared suddenly. They appeared suddenly.
它们突然出现了。
They appeared suddenly. They appeared suddenly. We gasped when we saw them. We gasped when we saw them.
我们看到它们时惊呼出声。
We gasped when we saw them. We gasped when we saw them. The lights were amazing. The lights were amazing.
极光太惊人了。
The lights were amazing. The lights were amazing. They filled the sky from end to end. They filled the sky from end to end.
它们从天空的一端延伸到另一端。
They filled the sky from end to end. They filled the sky from end to end. We shared the moment together. We shared the moment together.
我们一起分享了这一刻。
We shared the moment together. We shared the moment together. The lights were soft and flowing. The lights were soft and flowing.
极光柔和而流动。
The lights were soft and flowing. The lights were soft and flowing. We stayed up all night. We stayed up all night.
我们整晚都没睡。
We stayed up all night. We stayed up all night. The show lasted for hours. The show lasted for hours.
这场表演持续了好几个小时。
The show lasted for hours. The show lasted for hours. The colors changed often. The colors changed often.
颜色经常变化。
The colors changed often. The colors changed often. We saw green most of the time. We saw green most of the time.
我们大多看到的是绿色。
We saw green most of the time. We saw green most of the time. Pink appeared for a short while. Pink appeared for a short while.
粉红色只出现了一会儿。
Pink appeared for a short while. Pink appeared for a short while. Purple was rare but beautiful. Purple was rare but beautiful.
紫色很少见但很美。
Purple was rare but beautiful. Purple was rare but beautiful. We watched from a frozen lake. We watched from a frozen lake.
我们从结冰的湖面上观看。
We watched from a frozen lake. We watched from a frozen lake. The lights reflected on the ice. The lights reflected on the ice.
极光倒映在冰面上。
The lights reflected on the ice. The lights reflected on the ice. The sky was full of movement. The sky was full of movement.
天空充满了动感。
The sky was full of movement. The sky was full of movement. It was a magical night. It was a magical night.
那是一个神奇的夜晚。
It was a magical night. It was a magical night. We watched in awe. We watched in awe.
我们惊叹地观看。
We watched in awe. We watched in awe. The lights were silent and bright. The lights were silent and bright.
极光安静而明亮。
The lights were silent and bright. The lights were silent and bright. We wore warm clothes. We wore warm clothes.
我们穿着保暖的衣服。
We wore warm clothes. We wore warm clothes. There was no wind. There was no wind.
没有风。
There was no wind. There was no wind. The lights stretched across the sky. The lights stretched across the sky.
极光横跨整个天空。
The lights stretched across the sky. The lights stretched across the sky. We were alone in the woods. We were alone in the woods.
我们独自在森林中。
We were alone in the woods. We were alone in the woods. The lights were calm and peaceful. The lights were calm and peaceful.
极光平静而安详。
The lights were calm and peaceful. The lights were calm and peaceful. We made hot chocolate. We made hot chocolate.
我们煮了热可可。
We made hot chocolate. We made hot chocolate.
感谢观看，订阅我们的频道并开启通知，及时获取新视频，持续你的英语学习之旅。